We're so honored to have you here at your book launch. And I'm doing this on behalf of Sandy. Sandy's going to be joining us shortly as well. But we have a little shop here, and we're just so happy to have you for a book launch. And so, for those of you that may not know, I met Wanda a couple of years ago. It seems like just yesterday. Just through a random Facebook post, and looking for an editor of a book. And I was like, hey, I like to read. I like love. We have lots of hearts around in our shop, and let's give it a go. And so you emailed me a chapter, and then I actually got back to you.
Yeah.
And we did that for a while. And so it turned into a lovely book called University of Love 101. And so, Wanda, we're just very happy to have you. And we're doing it, there's a few people here in person and also on Zoom and live. So thank you. Yeah.
Yay.
I'm just going to have a seat here. But yeah, thank you. Yeah, so I'm going to pass it over to you to describe what you
do. So about 5 years ago, I had a spiritual experience that kind of opened my mind to unlimited possibilities. I'll just say that. So I call myself the reluctant Messiah, not the Messiah, but I'm a reluctant, I guess, follower. So I have kind of resisted this entire process to this moment now and again. So I started off by thinking a few things where I could see some people had passed and had some sort of, I could hear some clear voices speaking to me. And I felt one day that they, which I didn't know who to call them, were trying to talk through my voice. And I said, that's too weird. You're weirdos. No way you're talking through my voice. But then that happened. So I kind of allowed that. Actually, my sister's here. And I said, this might sound weird, but will you just stay here and see if some words come out of my throat that aren't mine? So she's very happy with new experiences, and open to life. So she goes, yeah, of course I'll listen to see if strange voices come out of you. So I'm like, okay. So that's how that sort of thing started. And then I also kind of reluctantly did the Messages of Love from Beyond Facebook page, because I thought, oh my God, I don't want everybody looking at me. And then after that, there was the YouTube channels. Now that's just has a life of its own, because now there's 1,000 on there. So that's just its own sort of thing. And then a couple of years ago, 3, I guess, I might have been writing the book a couple of years before I met Samantha, because it's a lot to transcribe words from videos and cut them down from 700 or 800 words to 350 words, which is about what each page is on each page of this. So that was like a whole process. And to be honest, I didn't really write it. Someone else was writing it through me. I'm like, I'm going as fast as I can. My God, why don't you give me a break? This is my relationship. So it was transcribed. And at the end, like Samantha just came also in a spiritual way, I guess. She just came out of nowhere. As well, this gentleman that's on Zoom also came out of nowhere. And now all you folks came out of nowhere. So I'm just sort of the person walking very slowly forward and allowing life to unfold and surprise me, which all of this is a great surprise. And you'll, once you check out some of the readings or the YouTube videos, you'll see that the teachings, they would prefer to call them rememberings, but since we're talking about the University of Love, it's kind of like a teaching, are all about doing that. Just taking one step forward and you don't know what's around the corner, but hoping there might be something good there. So one step forward, one step forward. So I'm the greatest example of taking one step forward and you don't know where you will end up, but hopefully it's somewhere good. Okay, so I'm going to turn this live on here, there, just in case there's anybody. All right, so since we're going to launch the University of Love 101, today we're reading from the University of Love 101, November 26th. And this is called Energy Kindergartners. So this whole thing is perfect because we're supposed to end up at the university. And today the reading is about being kindergartners. So in order for you to evolve energetically, you must understand at a very basic that you are energy that passes through from body to body. Your energy lasts through all eternity. When it's not inhuman, it's joined with the others in a collective of love, and you reside in the University of Love. Universe. It's funny. The universe of love is really energy that just exists. It's high energy that has a vibration of love. Therefore, it holds each human. As you come into humanity, it holds you in the highest place you can be held. It sees you as your truest, purest self, which is loving, caring, at peace, one with others, and able to communicate with energy. Your highest self may think a thought and others may hear it. You may send love to one who has fallen down and they will feel it. This is what your energy is capable of. And the universe holds you in this place always. It never falters. The energy is more than the small amount you carry inside. When you're joined with others, you're unlimited. Others who are familiar with energy can see it coming and they grab it. This is your highest self. So you must understand that you're pure, loving energy visiting in a human body for a small time. When it's complete, your energy survives. It joins back with the others where you communicate easily through energy. You wish to evolve into your fullest energetic self. That means understanding that you're pure, loving energy, which is difficult to keep within the human body. The energy explodes out of you, and sometimes it hurts on the inside. That just means you're aware of your energy. From here, you can do many things. You may roam from place to place energetically. You may send thoughts, love, and emotion. You may channel information. But first, you must be comfortable knowing, I am not what I seem. Your body's just finding its place in this time. There is an energetic self that resides at the same time as your body does. It does not wish to stay small inside of you. It wishes to join with other energy. That's a huge one. So that's the scoop. They are serious dudes. They are here for the evolution of humans and mankind, really. So they're not really going to talk about kittens and pretty little things. They're going to talk about things that are meaningful to the world, meaningful to each of you, I guess. So I'm going to step aside now, Wanda, and we're going to channel. I'm guessing there's going to be a little chat about this page. Here we are. We have this in the hole. That's the hole. Okay. All right. So welcome, everybody. Just be comfortable. I can't say what's going to happen. I'm just here, like with everybody else having the experience. All right. Let's stay in this frame here. It is important for humans to feel welcome on their earth. There are some who feel unwelcome in the place where you all reside. This we speak of for a moment, for it is important for all to know that you are all identical. You may look a little different on the outside, or you speak differently, but you are all the same energetic life force. You're the same universe of love in human form. We use this word because it is a word that is unfamiliar to most and therefore contains its magic still. You don't know what it is, so you don't have a preconceived notion. Words such as that have notions we try to avoid. For you perhaps have bad ideas about them, or you've read about them in books or something. So we use this term universe of love because it is unknown to you and yet very familiar. It is your home. It is where you reside when you are not here in physical form. So there's a part of you inside energetically that remembers what it's like. And you also have a notion that all of the other humans, even if you don't really like them, are you. They are the same as you. You're all one. So you move as one, you grow as one, you fail as one. All of these are felt together in energy. So what we mean is that Your experience when you're in physical form is shared by others. And also it happens for you. So they are sharing their experience, whatever it is, and you are feeling it energetically. When you're in physical form, sometimes you don't really remember this and know about it, but when you are finished in your physical form, yes, there are some here who are comfortable feeling the energy of others. We will say this. So for you, yes, you already feel it, but many do not. As you are finished with your time and you move to a different, you would call it a plane, a different existence, then all of a sudden you feel, remember that you are one and you feel the energy of all. Now, why is this important? Why is it important to begin an exchange by understanding you are all one? We will answer that ourselves. The importance of that is that you must come to understand if we are referring to one human of a group, we are referring to the entire group. For the questions, the emotional responses, the energy, all resides within you, particularly when you are joined together to have a common experience such as this one. And this one has been called about by those who are wishing to experience what it is that is happening here. So it is not, we are the universe of love. We come and we go, it doesn't matter. But as you call us forth, we always come. And this is important to know, that you're never walking around there on your own. You're not deciding and thinking through projects by yourself. You have access to unlimited information if you wish it to be so. So this is where we begin. Now, we are suggesting that you are beginning your teaching. We are loose with this word. It's not a really perfect word to use, but your rememberings are starting from a time when you were very, very small. So what we are suggesting is this interchange is a re-education, a remembering of what you knew before you started in the school system. We will say that your truest knowledge of life and the way you should move through the world began before you came into your physical form. So it's at that time where you knew most. You knew all things before you came into physical. And as you spent time in your physical form, you forgot more and more and more. So here we are, having an energetic exchange with those who have called this forth. And now we are here for you. Now, how will we begin our energetic exchange? This is your time as humans to bring forth what it is you are confused about. We have put forth certain information for you, and there's some of it that you don't know what in the world is going on here anyway. So we are able to describe further what the experience or what the information means.
Good afternoon, Aaron. Maybe I could start the question by asking what the significance.
One that is very familiar with the words. Are you able to put forth your understanding or your synopsis of what you have heard today?
Sorry, are you talking to me? Sorry, I can't see the crowd there. Are you talking to me or to somebody is there somebody in the crowd you're addressing? Sorry, maybe I'll just ask the question. We put a compilation of these teachings into writing, and are trying to help people find those teachings and to understand them. So, can you maybe talk to the significance of this at this time in our evolution?
We have laid some groundwork for this discussion. Those who are appearing here in physical, always physical, are wondering what it is they are to do during this time and place. Now, what if you already all knew what to do? What if you knew before you came into physical form? What if at the very heart of you, you need very little direction and only a remembering of what you already know? And there is much reluctance in humans to say you are grand, you are wondrous, you are the most splendid beings that have ever existed. And yet this is the truth of the matter, although there's great hesitation to believe it. Since you are the greatest humans, we will say that the universe is at your disposal, and those who have passed are always there to support you. So what does that mean? That means that you are precious and really the most precious being that exists. This is very hard to get through your head. Humans have told you you're not important, just try to fit in and all of this. But what if that were untrue? What if the truth of the matter is that you are the most precious entity there is, and that the universe is there to support you? Now, how would you proceed in this world? Would you proceed as you have been all of this time, when you have been listening to humans tell you are insignificant? No, of course you won't. Now you will start to begin like the regal, important beings that you are. Why are you existing in human form when many are not? They are in a sort of an energetic realm, a floating world, you might say. Why are you here? Why are you having this time? You are having this time because you have chosen to have it. You have chosen to live this life in this time with these humans in the place where you reside. And that's the truest matter. So this matters before you came into physical form to be retaught how to act as a human being. We're talking about before that, before the rules of mankind. We're talking about when you knew you were love, when you knew that you were connected to all others, that you moved as one, that you are the same energy as all. That's where we are reminding you. That's what all of this interchange is about. Remember how wondrous you are. And from there, you may go forward. This is the starting point. It is for you to repeat over and over until you really get it. I am a wondrous being. This is for you to say all day long as much as you can. Say it over and over. I am a wondrous being. From here, now you may learn. Now you may learn the spiritual world. Now you may remember the spiritual experience in the spiritual world. Not that you have to be taught like you were taught as little beings going into the schoolroom. You're not taught this way. This way, we will explain the two. When you enter into the school system, you would be told you must sit like this, speak like this, walk like this. These are not look inside of yourself and find the truth within you. How should I walk? How should I be? How should I talk? It wasn't that. It was memorizing rules to fit into mankind so they would not kick you out of here. So you did that fine. This is the upside down now. Now we wish to turn it all upside down and leave the teaching of man behind. Now we are trying to suggest you go back to the beginning, the real beginning, the beginning right before your first breath. The beginning when you knew all of these things. You knew instinctively how to move through this world. And what you know that some others do not know, is that you are here to serve one another, that you are here to move as one, to be as one. This is the truth that many have forgotten because they have mastered the rules of mankind. They have studied the rules and they fit in perfectly. We are not speaking of that, although there are those also that appear during this energetic exchange because they're questioning that. We are talking here of those who already wonder what's really going on anyway. And from this place, then you remember. So truly, it's not a new learning. It's not a learning of the traditional ways of mankind. This is a uncovering, a reminding, but it must begin with you understanding you are greatly valued for all of the universe because you are doing what they cannot. You are existing in physical form and you have taken that role on instead of staying comfortable and floating around in love energy. You see? So you have become the bravest of all and the most ridiculous, perhaps, or the most insane. But here you are. Here you are standing with your physical body instead of loafing around in the universe. You see? So it is very important what is happening here. It is not to be minimized, and it's certainly not necessary for you to go back to school and have your school master point out and you memorize these facts. It's not this at all. What is being uncovered here is you're going back to the love school. You're going back to the beginning. You're going back to the end. You're going back to what you already know and where you have exist and do exist through all eternity. When you're not here, you are in the universe of love. So when you're here, you're trying to fit in, you're trying to look like all the others and act like them. That's absolutely fine for a time, but yet here you are. Here you are wondering, again, what is going on here? Why am I having this experience? Why am I interested in listening to the universe of love as they speak through someone who looks very similar to us? Why in the world would anyone do such a thing as this? And yet here you are, because we're going to answer ourselves again. You're the curious children. You're the curious children of the earth and the universe, really, because you're trying to remember the basics of love, the beginnings of love. When you were tiny, you loved everything, and everything was wondrous and exciting and special for you. This is what you're trying to go back to. And again, you'll need maybe perhaps some little pointers here and there, reminders of what you already know, but this is where you want to be. You want to be back in the universe of love, but you also want to be in physical form, you see, since you have it still. You want both. So you're greedy in that way. You want this and you want that. You want all of it. So that is why this exchange has occurred. This exchange has occurred from all of the humans yelling and screaming out, what's going on here? We need some assistance. So here we are. We're always assisting, but now some wish to have a physical human being speaking, allowing words to pass through. So here you are now trying to go back to the beginning, which is where all your information lives and where you will have the most information. You have much more information before you take your first breath than you do have now, even though you've lived here for such a time. Before you took your first breath, then you lived. Then you were wise, wondrous beings. So how is that? How is that for you? You are wonderful students, and you are very quietly doing as your masters before have told you to do. Sit quietly, don't ask any questions, don't make any trouble, and just listen. And that is what the role that you are playing right now. So as you become more comfortable understanding that the role playing is no longer necessary, there will be a more rousing exchange of energy when you all become comfortable knowing that you know as much as the next human being for sure, and that the universe of love is always available for your every question or concern, no matter how you see it as true. So I see that things are manifested. If there's something that's happening that you have access to, thinking wishes granted, we must address this because it's sort of humorous, you might say. So what you are speaking of yourself, because you're always speaking of yourself, you and all others. So when you say, wow, everything's coming my way, everything's coming up, I want something, this thing, and here it comes. I want that thing, here it comes. So this is your experience. So now you have chosen to focus, and rightly so, on accelerated rejuvenation and abundance and all of this. So all of your energy, you have a lot of energy, it's all going here. Now we will guarantee for you, you'll have to take our word for us because you won't believe this, if you are focusing over here on the tragedy, illness, and sickness, and decrepency of mankind, it would be also the same, you would see the same thing, but you would be expressing it in the opposite manner. So whatever you focus your attention on is what you see. And now you have blinders for the others, for the other negative, awful humankind and tragedy that goes on around you. Now you see this positive, uplifting manifestation. And we think this is absolutely wonderful because you yourself find this very important to do. And you also believe that as you focus more on this positive happiness, that it will become a part of the others, lives of the others, and it will expand to them, and they won't be able to resist it, and they will be pulled into your happy, joyous attitude. This is your role in life. Now, there is also the role in life of the humans who focus on the negative parts of the world. This you might find hard to believe and like to disagree with, but there are strong urges within each human. And if you are all able to follow those urges, all sorts of different parallels would be created. What we mean is there will be just as much negative horrors as wondrous love. And then your life will be balanced in your place. Just as many focusing on and creating horrible lives as there are creating beautiful scenic views. This is a world in balance. You're not all going to be skipping through the flowers and smelling and singing songs. You will not be. The experience on the earth is some of one side, some of the other. But not all humans follow the urges. It's important for you to follow the urge. So do you understand that this is you're speaking of, and not all of the humans on the face of the earth?
Yes.
Yes. This is your strong calling.
So I have a question, but I'm not sure. There's a lot of information here and it's hard to describe it. But I always find it fascinating in an event like this, when we pull together to listen, how we come into each other's life. And I'm wondering if you can talk about that because it seems like there's a bit of synchronicity sometimes. There's also, does like attract like? How do you get that balance? Do you have any general comments about that? Or
Yes, some have been addressed, but the most important one is this. As you sit in your own spaces, you ask a question. What am I about anyway? Say it's precisely that one. Around you, there are others asking the exact same question. So when others ask the exact same question, those who have that sort of calling or that question come together, and it's a stronger energy, and all of a sudden the universe of love appears, you see? So if you're sitting home alone, you must focus more calmly, quiet your thoughts and become more directed, and you can hear the answers just as easily. Not just as easily for you. As you come together, you are more, there are some humans who like the energy of others and it supports them because there's a notion within you and others, maybe that's not important. Maybe I'm not important. There's a little bit of niggling behind the question. So the question doesn't come straight up. It's just as if you may say to the universe, what's going on here? What do you want from me anyway? That's absolutely fine, but it's not always spoken in that way. So groups must come together, groups of humans who ask the same question, come together and hear the answer. Now, this is an unusual situation where you have a human appear to answer the questions of the group, but it still occurs. So that's why you're drawn together, but you don't ask one another, what's your secret question? If you were, you would find out that the group has the same secret question, and you're coming together to sort of find the answer, and yet you're sort of stumbling over it because no one said it out loud. What is the question? What is the question we are all drawn here for? Something like this. So you are drawn together at this moment because you have the same question in mind. And all groups come together in this way, but you don't always have access to a human, so you must trip around it by yourselves. This would be important for you to do anyway. As you come together with a group, try to access your truest self and put forth a question, and you'll see the heads nodding. I was wondering that myself too. And what do you think? No one will exactly have the answer, and yet you'll all have the answer. For if you have the question, the answer came first. You already have the answer, and then the question sort of gets lost somehow, and sort of is trying to formulate. So the question comes after. So you'll come together when you're not in this experience and do this. What do you think of that?
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you.
You spoke of speaking, some people being focused negatively, as I would call it, some being focused positively, and the world being in balance. Could you expand on that? What is the purpose of the negative and positive focuses?
Well, this is lovely because you already know, of course, because you asked the question. So you already know the answer. So you yourself, we're going to draw it right to you. One time you're a horde human, the next time you're lovely. Then you're horde, then you're lovely, then you're horde, then you're lovely. Not just you, all of the humans. So really, you're wondering, why was I horde before? Why would I be the most absolute decrepit human I've ever met? So you already sort of know the answer to this. You wish to balance your own lives out, not just the earth, but you yourself keep coming and changing your mind, change your mind, change your mind. You don't always come as an angel. I'm going to be so lovely this time. I'm going to be lovely again. I'm going to be lovely. No, not at all. We will explain more of this human experience because you leave the universe of love. And when you come to the earth, you think you're coming to teach the others how to remember that they are from the universe of love. And then you get very confused with it and you forgot your mission. Now, depending on what humans are going to raise you, they might beat the heck out of you and you'll become a beater. Of course, that's what happens. And you might come in with a little cutesy, I love you, so cute. And then you'll become that, you see. Or perhaps you'll become the opposite of that. But each time you are coming and you yourself are changed, depending on the experience you have with the humans who you're going to spend time with on the earth when you're small. So we brought this back to you because you are the earth. You are the balance, you see? So when you speak of sort of a broad, the earth, negative and positive, you forgot that you are the earth and you yourself are negative and positive. So of course the world will be that way because you are the earth. You are one with all mankind. You move as one. You act as one. It's very difficult to believe because you all look so different. But yet, if you see it in this way of you coming and going and coming and going and wishing different experiences yourself, you will come to know that every odd time you're going to be the monster. And why? Because the earth needs the balance of both. You cannot all be wondrous, sweet humans. And you cannot all be killers, or there'd be no humans, you see? So it must be balanced both. So when you bring it back to yourself and realize that you are the earth, then you can bring it into perspective more. The whole earth is too large for you to conceive. But you yourself, as you bring the earth into you, then somehow it becomes a little easier to understand. And you yourself then are able to take a breath and be relieved. Say, oh, everything is in order then. What is it I should do today? That's all you have to do. What is it I have to do today? Not how do I change all of the humans or all of the earth? No, bring it into you. Yes, sometimes I am horrid, sometimes I'm lovely. I am the earth, and everyone is me. And what do I do this moment? What do I do this day? And for you yourself, you wish to bring love and kindness to others. That's your role. But remember, the human across the street who is hitting someone or kicking something, they are also doing their role. So remember, that's not your business. We don't mean that in any mean way. Your business is right here inside of you in your life experience. So each day, each moment, it's up to you to live your life and allow all the others to live theirs. Now, we're going to be straight up here. Part of the reason we are able to say such things that humans would never say is because we don't have a physical form. We have no feelings, we have no intellect. We are giving you the straight goods. So sometimes it might feel a little uncomfortable or sound weird, but the truth of the matter is that all your answers lie within, and the others must live their lives that they devise. What do you think of this? Of course, you would like to argue, but really, there's really no arguing.
It's giving me something to think about. How do you know I like to argue?
You are very obvious.
No, it shows. Obviously.
Are there others who wish to make a final comment? We will be completing our exchange.
Makes total sense of the negative and the positive of each person, and coming as love and then coming as not love.
Yes.
Well, this was good for me because I was so rebellious in school. I realized not I was right.
Absolutely, you are, and beside you are making that into humus, it is the correct way to live, to question authority, to question mankind. And we're going to tell you why you have this role, because you are connected deeply with your inner truth. Your inner truth is your guidance system. And you have been aware of that somehow, and you have not been swayed too much by mankind. But this is not the usual way to move through the world. Most try to fit in, you do not. But what you are relying on is something powerful that lies within. It's the universe of love, This is our word. We're going to, it's a sentence, yes, or phrase. It's the universe of love that resides within you that you will not let go of. And it is sometimes called truth, faith, hope, whatever word you want to put on it. You will not be swayed from this knowing that you have within, that you are connected to the universe of love, which is your guidance system, which is your higher consciousness. And that is why you yourself have questioned humankind.
If I might just ask one last follow-on question to that. So what you've described sounds like where you talked about roles. So we're coming in and playing roles of good or roles of bad. Now, you also just said you need to question some of these directions, I guess, based on your own guidance system. So I'm curious now, somebody is coming in to become the role as a disruptor, somebody that's what we would say causing negative things. Is their guidance system tuned to providing negative things, or is that because their experience in the human form has led them down that path and they're just following that without being in touch with the guidance system?
Oh, you've worded that perfectly. So as you, we will just say exactly what you said, pretty much. As you come in, you are the most pure essence of love that there is. Your first breath, you are pure essence and eternal information. That's the thing you don't want to. It's a good thing the little ones don't speak, because you have eternal intelligence at your fingertips, and you are great love. The experience that you have thereafter will cause you to become a certain type of human. Many will have a notion that there's something within them. The old-fashioned word is soul. They might have a remembering, there's something inside of me, but they don't speak of it. They don't tell others. You don't have these sort of exchanges much like this. So those that have this sort of strong soul knowing within might maintain it throughout the strictness of mankind's rules, but many forget it. But you can uncover it later. So it comes and goes, this knowing. So yes, this energy leaves the universe of love, which is sort of floating around in a pool of love mush, to come to the earth to make chaos. This is incorrect. You come to earth because you think you are going to bring love there. You think you're going to remind the others that they are loved. No one comes into physical form to wreak havoc. No matter what, you don't want to argue about this. This is absolutely correct. So from this point on, then your human experience will deter or encourage you one way or the other.
So I'm not understanding that, because then there's not necessarily a sense of, it's not about balance. It would mean that the negative events are a byproduct of somebody's experience that they're playing out, as opposed to having to be a balance between good and bad actions for the sake of providing a human experience, let's say.
Yes. So the balance comes about naturally, because all of you will either lean towards the badness or lean towards the goodness. You will balance each other out because you're one. You don't come down saying, I'm the bad one, the next one's the good one. I'm the bad one, not like this. This is not the way it is. It's not regimented as like your school system. This is, you balance it out. When you see so much anger and negativity on one side, naturally there are humans on the other side bringing great love. It balances out because you're all one. You're one energy. So you balance it out together as a group. All right. That's enough of that business. We are going to close and complete our energetic exchange. We would like to do namaste with those of you that are familiar with it. Namaste.